Hey guys, it's Kuya Goldlink here. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I'm coming with a quick Shaddoll deck profile because this is the deck that I would be playing in real life if I was actually going to tournaments, and it's the deck that I last played online. Oh wow, I gotta stop it. Alright, sorry about that. I realized I didn't have my cards all put together. They were all shuffled up from me playing a remote duel with one of my buddies and testing this deck out. So, for the main deck, 2 copies of Wendy. I think I had 3 originally and knocked that down to 2, but obviously the best Shaddoll monster. You can play 3 of her if you want. Try and get these in focus. But 2 copies of Beast. You need at least 1. It's at least free draw 1. 2 copies of Hedgehog, which he's actually a lot better than you would think. You can send it to the graveyard and add any Shaddoll monster to your hand, and then you can later use that for a lure. So I think at least 2 copies of Hedgehog is right. 2 copies of Dragon. Sometimes you just need to get rid of those annoying trap cards that are stopping you. Or spell cards. It can come up like with Mystic Mine or something like that. 1 copy of Ariel. You can play more, but I only play 1 because I don't really banish a whole lot. I don't have Schism in this build. I definitely would play Schism if I had it. I'd proxy it. I play it online. 2 copies of Falco. 2 copies of Squamata. It's your Foolish Burial. And that's it for the Shaddoll monsters. 3 copies of Ogre. This is a second build, so keep that in mind. 3 copies of Ogre, 3 copies of Predaplant Scorpio, and then 1 copy of the Predaplant Cobra. That is to get you into any of your El Shaddoll or Shaddoll fusions or polymerization. I can grab any of those for you. This build, I actually don't own Verite Anaconda, so being able to search these to my hand is really key. 2 copies of Sphere Mode, 2 copies of Mathematician, Foolish Burial pretty much, 1 copy of Armageddon Knight, Foolish Burial again, and then for the light targets for Construct, other than the, because you can use Ghost Ogre and Sphere Mode, 1 copy of Damage Juggler, 1 copy of Trick Clown, and then for the spells, 1 copy of Foolish Burial, 1 copy of Pot of Avarice. I don't play more because you can have situations where you don't get enough monsters into the grave, and if they make you go first, or if you're going second, you don't have enough monsters, it can just be a dead card, so only 1. 1 copy of Card Destruction, 3 copies of Allure, 3 copies of Dark World Dealing, which you could switch out for Drag Down if you wanted, but this deck doesn't really care about hand traps. It can play through them very easily, and it doesn't care about Nibiru because you don't summon enough times in a turn. 2 copies of Incarnation. You need at least 1. 3 copies of the El Shaddoll Fusion, 3 copies of Shaddoll Fusion, and then 3 Super Polymerization. The reason I'm playing this deck is because Dragoon was just annihilating me, and I would just super poly my opponent, and they'd have Verite Anaconda and Dragoon, and I would just make the fusion guy that takes 2 darks. 2 copies of Construct, 1 copy of Shekinaga, 1 copy of Grista because I do have Lava Golem in my side. 2 copies of Winda, 1 copy of Apolone, Starving Venom. That's the one you can super poly into Starving Venom using Dragoon and Verite Anaconda. 1 copy of Mud Dragon, he comes up sometimes. Nova and Makaba and Ints, because you can use them against Dogmatica if they want to send stuff to the grave and force you to send stuff to the grave. Well, then you just send Nova and Ints, pop a card, use Nova's effect, bring out Makaba. 1 copy of Unicorn, 1 Cerberus. Those don't really come up. Those actually could probably be Verite Anaconda and something else good. And then 1 copy of Selene, which actually can actually Monster Reborn your Winda because it's a spellcaster, and it can Monster Reborn any of your regular deck monsters, so that can come up too. And then the Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries is because I was playing a lot of Invoked online, and because I was also already prepared for the Dogmatica with Ints and Macabre. I played a couple Invoked guys, and I would just drop this on them and get rid of their Macabre, and then they would have to go into something very suboptimal, and they would not have any negates because of it. 3 copies of DD Crow because I was getting really frustrated with stupid Eldritch matches, so I would just use that to banish their Eldritch Golden Lord. 3 copies of Lava Golem, again, just same reasoning as Sphere Mode. 3 copies of Evenly, and 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. And I also had 3 copies of Nibiru, which I have since sold, but these were in my main deck. I was main decking 3 copies of Nibiru. I would suggest doing something that's light, like probably take a card out of here and do Psy-Frame Gear Gamma and Driver. And the reasoning being because you need those light monsters to get to Construct. And also because this is a going second build, and I took and sold those Nibirus, Psy-Frame Gear Gamma would be a good replacement for that. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think, and I'm out.